Big, it's the way to go. Eat a fig, not a pig, let your kindness show. If it's your wig or a jig or a swig, do you dig? Big, it's the way to go. It's Big Fat Vegan Radio.
When something's fat, there's a lot to show. It's gotta be fat to help the movement grow. Making fat loud chat that won't be flat. It's fat, and here's our show. It's Big Fat Vegan Radio.
I just got that vegan glow, like a drag queen calling Patrick Goudreau. I'm a YouTube vegan cooking up good eating. Veganism makes me glow. It's Big Fat Vegan Radio.
All right, vegans, all together now. When something's fat, there's a lot to show. It's gotta be fat to help the movement grow. Making fat loud chat that won't be flat. It's fat,
It's the
and
way
here's our
to
show.
go.
It's Big Fat Vegan Radio.
Hey everyone, welcome to Big Fat Vegan Radio. We're podcasting from San Francisco
and New York City
to discuss veganism in all of its glory. I'm here with Ben Stockman, otherwise known as Honey LeBronx, everyone's favorite vegan drag queen.
And I'm here with Laura Yaz, vegan writer and entertainment know-it-all.
You can check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube by searching for Big Fat Vegan Radio.
Or you can follow along on our show notes at bigfatveganradio.com.
Hi, Ben.
Hi, Laura. I don't know why I said or when the script clearly says and, as if they have to choose either.
I don't know why you have such a weird voice sometimes in the intro. Hi, I'm Ben Stockman. You do. You like totally drop your normal voice and you're like, and I'm here.
And now I realize why I fail every single commercial audition I ever go on.
Yeah, you don't like, because when we're talking like this, you're very normal. But when we get to the script, you're like, hi, and
I'm starting to catch myself doing it as well. Like right now, I'm just talking normal.
Right.
But if I'm reading something that's written in front of me, and you can follow along with our show notes
yes.
at bigfatveganradio.com.
There it is. Yeah.
I remember I was saying I had some audition for some Comcast or some cable whatever, and he just kept reminding me. He's like, just like throw it away, throw the line away, throw the line
and
away.
You're like,
and I was like, oh right.
And
sure, I will throw this line away.
Yeah, you get very deliberate sometimes when it's written.
Yes.
I notice it on the
I
fundraisers a lot when we do the commercials. I'm always like, why is he saying it like that?
And I'm always like, can she try? Jesus, put some effort into it.
I'm very natural.
See, here's the thing. My day for voiceovers and commercials has come and gone. The era historically for me to do commercials was back on I Love Lucy when they interrupt the commercial and suddenly and now
hilarious.
We're going to do a commercial for Magic Suds. And it's like, isn't that right, mister? Oh, yes. Magic Suds will get your laundry magic clean.
No, it's true. You would have really excelled.
I really would have back in the
I would have
50s.
been a great fast-talking journalist in the 40s.
Mm-hmm. They'd call you Mags. You'd be chain smoking.
Here's the problem, see?
They'd say you got moxie.
Yes, exactly.
They would call you a broad.
I would totally be a broad. Yes, sir.
Fast talking.
Oh, speaking of the 40s,
broad.
I want to tell you about my Halloween costume. I'm excited about it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, so so the girls at their preschool are not allowed to have scary costumes. First of all, I'm not okay with that rule. I think it's ridiculous, but whatever. I guess the little kids get scared. So they do have scary costumes that we're going to go trick-or-treating in. But so for the preschool, they got to pick out non-scary costumes, and they picked out a firefighter and an astronaut because they are badasses.
So at a certain point, it's basically like career day, not Halloween.
Well, come on. It's awesome. 2 little girls to be a firefighter and an astronaut. It's awesome.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty cool.
Okay.
I mean, it's nothing. Barbie did it first, so if I don't seem impressed...
Well, I suppose that's true.
If I don't seem impressed, it's because I had a Barbie doll growing up.
Was Firefighter Barbie? I don't remember Firefighter Barbie. I remember
No, but I
Dr.
remember
Barbie.
Astronaut Barbie.
Oh, Astronaut Barbie. Okay. Anyway, whatever. So they have these costumes that they picked out. And they're very cute, so we're going to wear those to school. But there's like a costume party day, and I need to go. So I was like, all right, need a costume for the school. And I thought, well, if I'm bringing this little firefighter and this astronaut, I should be Rosie the Riveter.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that would be awesome.
You know who Rosie the Riveter is?
Do I know who Rosie
All
the
right, some
Riveter
people
is?
don't. Some people don't. It's kind of a
one
random
those
reference.
She's one of those references that like I try to make that reference like every 5 days or so.
Nice. Okay, well, for people who don't know, it's the "We Can Do It" poster from World War II. The woman with her, she's like holding her bicep and she looks awesome. Anyway. So
I'm just going to say, first there was astronaut Barbie, and now they're sending Sarah Brightman into outer
look
space.
It up? Okay.
Did you know they're sending Sarah Brightman to outer space?
I don't even know who Sarah Brightman is.
Phantom of the Opera.
Okay, I'm out.
Okay.
So anyway, I looked up for a Rosie the Riveter costume online.
That story did not deserve to get glossed over for your Rosie the Riveter costume.
I'm trying to finish my thought, which is something we struggle with here at Big Fat Vegan Radio.
One would say that is Big Fat Vegan Radio.
Our essence at its core. Changing the subject frequently.
Continue.
Wait, so she's the original Phantom of the Opera? Like
the original Christine from the original Phantom of the Opera. To say
Broadway
that,
cast.
who's Sarah Brightman? Oh, she was Phantom. That would be like saying, who's my mom? Who is Susie? Oh, she once was a waitress at Big Boy. No, she's gone on to do other things in her life.
Right.
But that's what most people know her as. But she's now, a singer. She used to be like my favorite anything. She used to be my Björk, but then I realized that Sarah Brightman's not really technically a good singer, and she's just kind of weird. But for whatever reason, like they're sending her into outer space.
Well, maybe it's for good reason.
If you'd ever imagine, she's the one singer I can think of who belongs in outer space.
Oh, you're funny.
It's like at once she'll be where she belongs. Anyway.
Well, that is kind of random that she's going to outer space.
Very random.
Anyway,
but it makes perfect sense.
I mean, I just want to brag about saving money. I basically found a Rosie the Riveter costume online. First of all, there's 2 Rosie the Riveter costumes online. One is very appropriate, accurate costume. It's $50. That's too much. Mm-hmm. Second, is a sexy Rosie the Riveter costume, because we need that. Mm-hmm. I was very annoyed by the sexy one. Although, to each your own. If you want to wear a sexy costume, that's your choice, and I support you. I don't mean to take that away. However, I was irritated to see that character sexualized. So, anyway, also on top of the $50 for the Rose of the Riveter costume, it doesn't come with any boots or shoes or anything. I really don't have anything that's going to work. And so they're selling shoes that go with it, but they also were $50. So I was like, whatever. I don't know if I'm going to do this costume. It's too expensive. And then my aunt we were going to her son's wedding, and she was like, why don't you go to Goodwill? So I did. I went to Goodwill yesterday. I pieced together the whole thing, head to toe, shoes and everything, $40. I'm very excited.
Wow. The frugal gourmet does Halloween.
Yes, exactly. The Frugal Gourmet. My dad used to watch The Frugal Gourmet.
Yeah, The Frugal Gourmet. My mom and I used to watch that show. And then he got indicted for child molestation.
Yeah, it turns out to be a real creep. That was fun.
And before turning out to be a real creep, he was a total creep from what this is all hearsay, but I just heard that he was like a real jerk and had a bad temper and blah, blah, blah. I mean, what do you expect when someone's like making their living out of murdered animal parts and the fluids you can
they can't be trusted.
Now that I have cable again in my new apartment, I was watching some show last night on the menu, like Ty Pennington, who has cobbled quite the career for himself, but to think that Ty Pennington is a carpenter who was on a reality show called Trading Spaces, so like when you needed something made out of wood, he was the guy who made stuff out of wood, and then he got a whole show like, now let's make entire homes for people with sad stories, and now he's like sampling food that chefs are making, competing to get something on the menu at California Pizza Kitchen, like... this trajectory makes perfect sense to me. It's just like...
It's the reality TV trajectory. It's one I'd like to be on, quite frankly.
It makes about as much sense as the story of Sarah Brightman, a young singer who went down on Andrew Lloyd Webber underneath a table at a cast party.
Is that real?
And apparently that's the...
Allegedly. She was, it's an alleged blowjob.
Allegedly, she was in Cats, the original London production, which I think is where she met Lloyd Webber. And then she's like, well, it doesn't take a genius to figure this one out. And she goes down on him under the table. And now she's the star of Phantom of the Opera, which when they brought Phantom over
now she's being rocketed to the moon.
Basically, when they brought Phantom to America, they were like, "Great, we love you, we love your musical, bring it over. Just don't bring Sarah Brightman." And he's like, "We bring Sarah Brightman as Christine in Phantom, or we don't bring this show." And like, it was this huge scandal. Like everyone was like, "It's gonna fail," blah blah blah. But then she was actually pretty good.
Well,
so,
there's got to be more than one blowjob for that kind of commitment. I gotta say, she's got to be doing more than one blowjob.
They're now launching her out into outer space. So from Cats, that is the under the table BJ that launched a singer's career, literally launched her career right out into outer space.
This is all alleged, for the record. We don't know.
A better comedian.
There is no proof.
A better comedian could have made that a lot punnier than I did.
It's okay. Puns aren't actually funny.
You're not actually.
They're just
funny.
delightful.
You're delightful.
All right, fine. Okay, so let's. What'd you have for dinner last night, bro?
For dinner last night, I'm trying not to get into my story too much because there's a lot of overlap between my big fat vegan food and my.
Oh, so what you had for dinner last night is because you were at that party.
Well, we'll get to that party, but after the party, the Michael Heron and I went to Terry to split a sandwich because we both thought we were going to go to dinner afterwards and hang out.
But you were pretty full.
But we were pretty full, so we ended up just splitting a sandwich. I took my half home because I'm like, I'm not hungry now, but when I get home, I'll be like, oh my God, I'm so happy I have a chicken Caesar wrap with extra chicken.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
And then this friend of Mike, like Michael and I are sitting there, and then I see Michael look past me and go, oh, hey, blah, blah, blah. And for the next, it was probably maybe 15 or 20 minutes, but I'm going to say for the next 90 minutes, because that's what it felt like. I won't even say names or whatever, because whatever. But he sees this guy. He's like, oh, hey, blah, blah, blah. And Michael Heron apparently knows one of the most foul-mouthed, socially awkward, I don't know how to take social cues kind of thing. It was as if this guy was like, oh, there you two are.
I'm dying to know the name right now.
I've been looking for you guys. I thought we were all meeting up at blah, blah, blah. Well, here the three of us are. I'm like, no, not the three of us. Michael and I are having Michael and I time.
We're just saying hi to you because we know you.
And it's just one of those things where I'm sitting back doing the whole I'll let you guys chat and blah, blah, blah. And then when it's done, we're going to resume. But then when it's done,
resume play.
His friend's like, oh, so another thing. Blah, blah. And I'm like, no, every time that we naturally
That's irritating.
And Michael is a pro at this game, by the way, because he'll know how to look at me and give me that look and then look at the clock. And then in the middle of the story, he'll say to me, oh, hey, don't you have to get going in a couple of minutes? I'm like, oh, right, it's almost that time. He's giving this guy every opportunity to wrap
Michael's
it up.
really good at being like, well, and that's the end of this conversation.
Yes. And this guy just never, until finally I'm trying to let this one particle break off of our new molecule in Terry. God. But now the three of us migrate to outside of Terry, and now we're standing outside. I'm like, no. And then finally Michael's like, I'm going to walk you to your bike. So Michael goes past his train station to walk me 2 blocks away. But I had half of a chicken Caesar wrap with extra chicken.
All right. Well, that sounds delicious. Although it's not usually my go-to there.
Oh, it never was my go-to because I will never opt for, I'll have the chicken Caesar. Because usually that's just
I love a Caesar salad, but I like it as a salad. I think that's what it is. The wrap, I don't like the wrap part.
Generally, usually, right. And Terry has they have the tofu scramble wrap with hot sauce and sausage.
Oh, yeah,
or
that
they have
good.
Or they have the bacon chicken cheddar ranch or the meatball or the Thanksgiving. Everything else sounds more exciting.
I always
but
want
their
the bacon cheddar.
their chicken Caesar wrap is so good.
It is good, but I can't live.
For almost an entire year, I've not been able to order anything else because it's so good. It's got its own gravitational pull.
I know, but I can't bacon cheddar chicken ranch. I can't live without it.
Right, but I can't eat that on the actual sandwich bread it comes on because then all the stuff is getting pushed out as you're eating it. So now I get a bacon chicken cheddar ranch as a wrap.
Oh, I don't have a problem with the bread. I'm fine with the bread. It's best if you hold the wrapper around the bread while you eat. But whatever. Look, to each their own.
I shouldn't have to.
To each their
America.
own. I eat it and I'm happy eating it. I don't have a problem eating it.
What did you have for dinner last night?
Here's where Ben unplugged his headphones and walked away from the computer, causing a massive echo, which hopefully I fixed. You're welcome.
Are you seriously doing this to me again?
Yeah, I'm letting you talk about what you had for dinner while I quickly grab my my thing out of the.
Yeah,
if I don't grab my my timer went off. If I don't get my bagel out of the oven, I'm gonna
Ben has
burn.
ditched me twice.
I'm gonna
everybody.
burn down this new episode.
I'm carrying.
All right.
I'm flying solo here. I have to pee. I sat through his story. I made quippy comments. I care about the show. I did
I'm
not.
still here
he
with
keeps
you.
walking
I'm still
away
here
every
with
time
you,
I'm
by the
talking.
way. I'm just
Okay.
over in my gracious
I'm looking at his
kitchen.
new apartment and I'm very jealous, y'all.
I know life is hard. Life is hard.
All right. So yesterday, I don't even know why I'm bothering. I guess you're listening. Sorry.
I'm listening too.
I went to the mall. I didn't really eat dinner yesterday, so let's talk about lunch.
Oh,
I went to dinner.
surprise! A white girl went to the mall. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, two white girls. Hey, so we went to the mall. I went to the mall with my friend, and because we went to the movies, and so we had lunch at the Loving Hut that is in the Oak Ridge Mall in San Jose first. And I gotta tell you, that's like my favorite Loving Hut. I've been to a lot of them, and it lacks atmosphere because clearly you're in the mall. We have to be seated next to an escalator while we eat, but it's great. It is really good. It's like one of the best Loving Huts I've ever been to.
That's pretty cool that there's a mall with a Loving Hut in it.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. And it's very central. And so I had pho and she had sesame bites with broccoli, and we had spring rolls, and we had Thai iced tea. It was a delicious meal. We were really full, and then we went to see Gone Girl, which I guess I can briefly review because Ben's still not back. I don't know. It's good, I guess. Gone Girl. I don't know. Maybe I should do a video about it. I sort of stopped doing those videos because
No, you gotta continue.
they're very time consuming. I know. I just don't really have the time. It's difficult to make it happen. I like doing them. The editing takes time. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, the movie's good. I don't know. It's like kind of spoiler alert, I guess. I don't know. I didn't know anything that was going to happen. Lots of twists and turns, so it's very captivating in that sense. Definitely was watching it, very interested, constantly interested in what was happening. But it is like about awful people, and I didn't like anybody in the movie. And I think it's really important to care about the characters, and I really didn't. I thought they were all jerks. And then there's the one character I do care about is Ben Affleck has a twin sister. I loved her. She was the one I cared about the most. I was so worried about her, and she, her emotional journey meant more to me than anything else. And she's really not a main character in the movie. And yeah, I mean, I could get into it more. It's obviously good movie making because I was totally captivated. It was totally interesting. I couldn't tear my eyes away. But it's like, no, I mean, in truly great storytelling, you have a protagonist who is met with an obstacle, and then they are changed by the obstacle. That's great storytelling. I'm sorry. That is the fundamental root of great storytelling. Nobody changed in this movie. It's just a bunch of jerks doing crazy stuff, and then it gets crazier, and you're like, why am I watching this movie about these crazy people? Everybody's crazy. They're all going to kill each other. And then it was over.
Because that's life.
Yeah, but
Because
I'm sorry,
sometimes that's how
life
life
and
comes at
storytelling,
us.
that argument makes me crazy. That's not true. In real life, people do change. Things do happen. I'm sorry.
You're telling me in real life people change?
Yes.
Okay, I again left you in the middle of an episode to go and make food when I just criticized you for having food during an episode.
Oh,
You're gonna tell
yeah,
me people
completely.
change?
This
You're gonna
whole
tell me
food
people
journey
change?
has been unreal, y'all. I'm just
You're gonna
putting
tell
up
me
with it.
you're
'cause I'm
telling
nice.
me people change. I'm doing the same shit.
Look, no, what I'm saying, my argument is, I say this, I feel like I have to say this often regarding movies. People, because it was the same thing with them, The Wolf of Wall Street. Everyone was, he's not changed by what he goes through. And that's the thing is, with storytelling, when you're watching a movie, when you're watching a play, when you're reading a book, classic tenets of storytelling is that someone is changed by what happens to them. And so, granted, a movie, a book, it can be interesting if the protagonist doesn't change. I would never argue that it couldn't be interesting, that it can't be a great movie, but it's not great storytelling, because that's what happens in great storytelling. And I stand by that. Truly great story follows those classic parameters. I mean, hello, that's like what storytelling is all about. So this isn't really a great story. It's a very interesting movie. It's very captivating, very exciting. I was just dying to know what was going to happen every couple minutes, but it's not a great story, and I didn't care about anybody. And if I cry at commercials, I cry at the Tinkerbell movies. If I'm not crying at your movie, you're doing something wrong. Not that it was really a cry movie. I don't know if anybody would really cry at that movie, but I'm just saying, if I'm not moved, why am I there? I want to feel something when I watch. I don't want to be thinking the whole time. It bores me.
You're angry.
I just get worked up when I talk about movies.
I'm just kidding. It's actually a line from a Jackie Beat and Roseanne Barr clip. It's a 6.5 minute long YouTube video that me and Caldwell and Frosty and Ms. Cracker, it's so central to our lives that like any small line from it, even if it doesn't sound
so
like
you made a
quote,
joke reference that I would not understand.
Pretty much. What I more did was introduce a new topic that I insist people get into. If you haven't already, stop and YouTube Jackie Beat Roseanne.
He's so bossy.
Makeup, and watch the video where Jackie Beat does Roseanne's makeup. You are welcome. You're welcome.
How's that bagel?
I haven't taken a bite yet, but it looks pretty good.
Have you got cream cheese?
I was gonna say I've got cream cheese and I have grape jelly.
What kind of cream cheese do you have?
You sound heated, so I want to hear.
No, I'm not heated.
No,
I'm just passionate about storytelling.
I'm segueing.
Oh.
You sound heated, so I want to get us into a hiss. Can you?
Oh, great! That would cheer me up.
You do a hiss.
You want me to do a hiss?
Doing a hiss will cheer you up.
You want me to do? Oh, you want me to do my hiss?
I want to hear you hiss.
You want me to do my hiss?
Yes, I do.
I don't want you to be eating when I do my hiss because we need to be talking.
We can talk, but I can take a bite.
Okay, tell you what. I need to go potty.
Okay.
So you get started on that bagel, and I'll come back and we'll do my hiss. Yeesh! I feel like my hiss is huge. Okay.
Okay, and then instead of me taking a break and talking about anything, or instead of me editing this out or pausing, I'm just going to let the audience hear me crunching on a cinnamon raisin bagel.
My condolences,
with
everyone.
cream cheese.
I'll pee quickly.
Oh my god. Oh my god, so good. Oh my god, I thought this would taste like heaven, and it does. Oh my god. What have I done to deserve this goodness? Oh, so good. I swear to God. Oh my God. I don't know how not to make noise while I eat. And my now ex-roommate criticizes me for it all the time. I am criticizing me for talking about my mouth full, by the way. But I don't see how you can't when something is this good. Oh, this is delicious. Oh, that's good. Is she back already?
I may need to bust out my big chair every time we record because I am hurting right now.
I'm sorry to hear it.
It's okay, but my butt and my hips is not. This chair sucks. I got it for $11 at Target.
So your hips are not lying.
My hips don't lie. They're telling me the truth. Do you really want to start with my hiss? I feel like it is so big.
I don't know. Sure, why not?
Gosh, all right. Just start off with a little light banter. So, I'm sure many of our listeners have heard of Thug Kitchen, and I'm just going to briefly talk about my experience with Thug Kitchen, which is that I occasionally see their memes on my Facebook. That's pretty much it. They've been around for about 2 years, and what basically their recipes that they would share is very Tumblr style. I believe they started on Tumblr, and just like a photo, and then it would have like a pretty simple, brief recipe, and then like some kind of and then so the thing, their sort of kitsch is that it would be like avocado motherfucker, like that was like that's like their thing, and so they would I
resent their implication that I am a motherfucker.
Yeah, right. But so anyway, I sort of don't know how to sum it up any better than that. So I saw them a little bit in you know what? I'll say the thing that caught my eye. I'd see them. People share their photos. I'd be like, oh, haha. And then a couple people were like, hey, Laura, have you seen this thing? I'm like, yeah, they're really cute and funny, whatever. And I didn't think very much of it. I saw one that caught my interest, and it was, what did it say? It said, if you like pina coladas and motherfucking homemade ice cream. I thought that was funny because of the song lyric. So I also thought it looked like a really easy recipe to make, and it would be fun to make with the girls because it's just like frozen fruit and a can of coconut milk. So we made the ice cream at the house, and quite frankly, it wasn't very good. So
I'm just picturing these little girls cooking from Thug Kitchen.
Yeah, well, they don't know what it's from, please. And so I mean, really truthfully, after I made that ice cream, I just wasn't impressed. I didn't think it was that great. So, I was just like, well, whatever. I don't think very much of them. They don't think they're that great. I don't think their recipes are that great. Whatever, they're cute. People like them. That's fine. So they launch a cookbook. It does really well on pre-order. Huge pre-order. I guess people really think it's funny to say the F word a lot. And, so I guess right before the book went totally public, off of pre-order into like regular order, they did this big reveal about the authors behind Thug Kitchen because they'd been anonymous for 2 years. And it's this like...
They've been totally anonymous, really?
For 2 years, yeah.
That's yeah.
I wonder why.
Uh-huh.
So they come out and they are like the whitest people. They are so white. It's just this white couple that's like lives in, I want to say Pasadena. That's what it looks like in the photo. I have no idea where they actually live. I think it's California. But anyway, so a lot of people have had sort of an adverse reaction to this. And I say rightfully so. I'm often I've been in a lot of arguments about this book, and I've been criticized for saying that I would be okay with it coming not from a person of color, not a white person was writing it. But that is how I feel, and I'm not ashamed of feeling that way.
But you're saying you would be okay if it was not someone of color?
No, if it was someone of color, if the author was like a black person.
I feel I would be okay if it was a black person, or if it was someone, I mean, like, if it was Eminem, I wouldn't have a problem because that's his vernacular. That's his scene.
That's actually Ben, I've never heard that argument. That's actually one of the best arguments I've heard.
Right. Like, I don't think it's exclusive to color. I think it's exclusive to street cred. I think that's what this is about,
that's fine. But I think, unfortunately, I feel like, I feel like
have a problem if it were me saying these things.
Exactly. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it's really lame. I'm uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable about their reveal. So a lot of people have been writing about how they feel like it's, disrespectful and racist. And, and I agree. I think that, the idea that it's not because thug doesn't necessarily mean like a certain color or whatever. I think that's really ignorant to say because it does in our culture, I think. You know what I mean?
But the fact remains, like, what is Fox News going to attempt to call Mike Brown?
Yes,
a
amen.
thug?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's it's infuriating to me that people are acting. I mean, I've had so many arguments with so many vegans who are like telling me that I'm not getting the joke. Okay, so
no, I get the joke.
No. Let me just say something.
Yeah.
Don't tell me I'm not getting a joke. I was a comedian, professional one, for years.
Mm-hmm.
I know everything about jokes. Maybe not everything, but I know about jokes, okay? And I know who has the right to tell certain jokes and who doesn't. And I'm sorry, but that's a fact. And some people get to own language and some people don't, okay? That is is really infuriating to me. The other thing is, let's talk about Thug Kitchen. What is the joke? What is the joke with Thug Kitchen? Can you tell me what the joke is? Is it just cussing? Because that's not a joke. Cussing is not a joke. That's not a punchline. That's not funny. It might make you funny because it's like, oh, I'm so shocked that they said the F word right here when they're talking about a spring salad. Okay, yes, that is surprising, that juxtaposition. That is a point of humor. However, I think truly the joke comes from based on the idea that if someone who, say, fits our culture's stereotype of maybe what a thug is writing recipes like this is how you would expect a thug to write a recipe, right? That's pretty funny. Like, oh, of course, because it's ridiculous. That's why it's funny. You're making fun of the stereotype, right? That's where the joke is, right? Maybe. Not if it's a white couple who lives in a freaking mansion in California. What is their joke? What is their punchline?
Do they live in a mansion?
Well, they just look like they're rich white people to me. I'm really
You know
basing...
what they look like? They look like was it Heidi and Spencer? From the Hills.
Oh, yeah, totally.
At least he looks like Spencer.
But they have that look. That is the look. It's like really like upper class. Like they only shop at Whole Foods. Like,
can I just say this whole thing has given Honey LeBronx a great idea for her next cooking show?
Okay.
Honey LeBronx's blackface black bean burgers.
Oh my god.
Well, hello, Missa.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Anyway, so look. I'm not...
Bring some of that controversy over here.
I am irritated about Thug Kitchen. I am irritated about these people making this joke. And I tried to make this comparison, and I don't really know if it works, but I said to my friend who I was discussing it with, I said, what if I wrote a book and I called it like The Big Gay Kitchen, and every joke was like about what was on top and what was on bottom, and like, hey girl, add some, like that kind of a thing. What if I wrote that book?
I'm sorry. I'm already disqualifying what you're saying because I'm laughing at it. I'm like, oh my god, that would be so funny if you
right.
did that.
No, it'd be very funny. This is what I'm saying. This is my argument here. Okay, so I could do it. I could be hilarious. I could write that blog super funny. Be like, hey girl, add this, and I could do so many jokes, and I could super write that super funny. I know I could. I know I have it in me. However, should I do it? I don't think I should.
I think it's you and I
not
having
appropriate.
That conversation, it's one thing. But if you were to publish
I actually
a book,
created it and was making money off of it, I'm just some straight girl. That's not right. It's not my place to do that.
Yeah.
And if I did, and I have to say, because I do think this is possible that this is what happened with the Thug Kitchen people. If I say I was just started it sort of as a joke, and I thought it was cute and funny, and then it blew up. Oh my gosh, now this is really popular. Oh, what am I going to do? Oh, no, now I have all these followers. Oh, now they're giving me a book deal. What am I going to do? I tell you what I would do. I would donate proceeds to something important for the community that I was profiting off of and making fun of. That's what I would do. Because that would make me feel better about it. These people are doing nothing except continuing the joke about it. Like, isn't it hilarious that okay, this is the other thing. This is a great quote from this CNN article. I have 3 articles on the show notes that you guys can read that I think are really great. But certainly swearing isn't exclusive to African Americans, but many of the site's captions, usually dreamed up by Davis to accompany Holloway's striking visuals, rely heavily on phrases from Black rap lyrics, stand-up routines, and films, which eventually went mainstream.
What was that last part? Something went mainstream?
That it's just saying that they're famous. They're famous sayings and lines and stuff. Because I hear that too. People are like, "What? It's just cussing. It's not necessarily." And I don't agree with that. I think.
Well, the thing is, they're the ones using the word thug. So
yes.
they're the ones who are basically insinuating it's not just cussing. It's thug life, yo.
Yeah. I mean, really.
I sounded real street when I said that.
You sound so street right now, Ben. No, but anyway. I'm not down with it. I'm not giving those people my money. That's the bottom line. I'm not giving them my money. I don't think they're going to do anything good with my money. And I don't think they're sending a good message. I think it makes vegans look really bad. Like, I'm very annoyed that these people did this.
This whole thing has inspired a tweet that I'm going to try to tweet as soon as my phone stops crashing on me.
This is fun how you're just eating a bagel and playing with your phone.
No. I'm with you on this. It's just it is.
So you had never really heard of Thug Kitchen, right?
I hadn't really. I mean, I'm sure the name has crossed my mind. I was like, oh yeah, I've heard of that. Like when I heard about this whole controversy, I wasn't like, wait, Thug who now? Like I definitely heard of it, but I'd never paid them any mind.
Yeah, I never paid them any mind either because I just didn't think they were that great.
I don't have to think about the little people.
And you know what? It's true. I feel like there was this part of me that something about that whole thing did bother me the whole time, and I couldn't figure out what it was. I was like, something about this, it just rubs me the wrong way. I feel like it's yucky.
Yeah.
And then now all these great pieces have been written about it, and I totally recommend reading them. They're really eye-opening.
So what's the verdict?
Oh, Thug Kitchen, you're making me hiss. Stop making vegans look stupid and racist.
Seriously. Because, that's been people's argument about vegans for all this time is like, well, I would go vegan, except I think vegans are stupid and they're racist.
Yeah, well, we didn't need that. We didn't need any help.
Right.
Being disliked.
Well, we normally start off with a purr so that we can end with a purr, but today I guess we're starting off with a hiss so we can end with a hiss, and I'm fine with that.
Or you could just hiss right now. It could just be hiss central.
Okay, yeah, actually. I want to hiss. I'm going to include a link here to the blog so you guys can kind of read the whole story. But basically, and this is from quite a while ago, like shortly after, well, I won't say shortly after the new year, but quite a while ago, someone sent me the story and asked us to talk about it on the show, but we just kind of haven't had a chance to work it in. There is a guy out there by the name of O Donovan, and he is he was in Atlanta, Georgia, at a house party for New Year's, and he was seen dancing with the boy, and later on there was all these homophobic slurs, and he was attacked. He basically was attacked for being gay. And while trying to, it was like, I think, a huge group of people, like it's anywhere from half a dozen to a dozen people, like stomping on his head.
Oh yeah, I've read this guy's story before. I didn't know he was vegan though.
Yeah, well, and and it was definitely a hate crime because here's the thing: if you want to hate crime someone for being gay, don't yell faggot while you're beating them up. Or people will be like, yeah, it was a hate crime because, clearly that wasn't an aside. Clearly that wasn't like, and another thing while I kick you in the face. But he basically was attempting to defend himself.
Yeah.
And what was it? Was there, I don't want to say anything that wasn't factual, but basically he was imprisoned and charged with 5 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and one count of attempted murder for attempting to defend himself against 5 to 12 men who were attacking him at any one time. So it's just a huge human rights violation and just a huge miscarriage of justice.
Well, it's in the South, right? Yeah, Georgia.
Right. Where, I mean, the law is just not on his side to begin with. I feel a sneeze coming on.
Peanut butter. God bless you.
Does shouting peanut butter make you not sneeze?
No, I think it makes you sneeze. I can't remember.
I don't want to.
It's something you're supposed to do when you feel like you're going to sneeze.
Okay, but at any rate, so he accepted a plea deal. He's going to be in the Georgia prison system for 2 years, starting from August 12th. And I'm going to include the link because basically just read it and read up the article. But long story short, while this guy is in jail, he's like, I don't care. I'm going to be vegan. I'm staying vegan while I'm in jail. And they're not supporting that. They won't feed him
Yeah, I've actually heard this struggle with a lot of people in prison. Yeah.
Basically, if they're like, if you're going to be vegan, you're going to have to buy your own food in commissary.
Yes.
And so basically there is a fund where people can send money. He's now been transferred to Washington State Prison, which is not in Washington State. It's in Georgia, of all places. But so basically, he is now in prison, and he needs our support to stay vegan. Like, literally, he needs lunch money if he's going to buy his own food and stay vegan. Not only do I think that that's a great way to help this guy out, because, I feel like I was thinking about it the other day, and I was thinking about, like, in what situations would it be okay for me to not be vegan anymore? I was talking with some fellow, like, Icelandophiles, and we were talking about going to Greenland. And in Greenland, apparently all you can buy at the local grocery stores are live fish and bullets, which just and beer. Live fish and bullets and beer. Like none of those are 3 things I would ever buy. So I'm like, wow, if I ever went to Greenland, would I have to? But no, I would just bring like just dried lentils and and Cliff Bars. But like I was thinking like the other day, like wow, if I were like in prison or something, like I guess I'd have to not be vegan.
Yeah.
But oh man, this guy's making it work. So there is a fund where you can send money to him. Also, that he's put together a list of books that he'd like to receive while he's in prison. So this guy wants to continue educating himself and continue being vegan. So there's a lot.
Yeah, I would read if I was in prison. There's not a lot else to do.
I would just do push-ups nonstop. I would come out so svelte.
Yeah, but, I would read all the time.
Yeah, I would read, and I would get multiple wives. I would be like everyone's prison. But I gotta take that out.
You probably should. That's a little disturbing.
Oh no, just the B word is all.
Oh, you're funny. There's some cussing in the Thug Kitchen part too, obviously, because I had to make a few examples.
Yeah.
I tried to tone it down.
Yeah, so basically, help Luke stay vegan. I mean, of course, this is a hiss because I'm hissing at the miscarriage of justice, and we shouldn't even have to be in this situation where we're helping this guy out. Because this guy, can you imagine all the good this guy could be doing out there in the world if he wasn't locked up somewhere? And just the fact that this guy was like arrested and charged with attempted murder for defending him, like how whoever prosecuted him, whoever like.
Well, it's a crazy story if you're being ganged up on by 10 people and you managed to hurt 5 of them. Like I'm proud of you. I'm sorry.
Like seriously,
like a way to get out of that situation.
Yeah. Like how do you even try to charge him with that without? I mean, like, if I were the judge in this case, I'd be like, really? Like, no, anyone? I'm gonna bang my gavel. Anyone gonna call BS on this? No. All right, fine.
I mean, seriously, yeah. I mean, I would. It's just when you're so outnumbered like that, just the fact that he could fight back at all is kind of amazing.
I mean, like, and yet, like. There's like, middle-aged, scared white men out there shooting unarmed black children.
Yes.
Putting 17 rounds into them. And then we use stand your ground laws and talking about self-defense. How is this not a case of self-defense for Luke? The fact that like the cop that killed Mike Brown was then secreted away basically into witness protection and being completely protected by people. And yet this
because apparently cops are allowed to do whatever they want.
And this poor gay vegan kid in the South is now in jail for attempted murder.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Can you imagine all this kid wanted to do was go to some, New Year's Eve party and kiss
That is
a boy.
crazy when you say it like that, Ben. It is so crazy.
Yeah.
It's like that woman that was I always used her as an example because with George Zimmerman, got off because of that stand your ground law.
Yeah.
He's walking free. And then this woman who literally fired a gun
a warning shot in
the air because her abusive ex was bearing down on her, a man who used to beat her.
Mm-hmm.
She's in jail for 20 years.
She's still...
I mean, are you kidding me?
She's still in jail.
I think she got an appeal. I think she got an
years.
I heard she got an appeal, but I don't know that she's.
Why is Judge Judy not in charge of the world?
Oh, seriously!
Can we just be like, Judy, can you just please rule on this? I want Judge Judy to take that judge to court.
Oh wait, right here.
State of Georgia.
2 days ago.
State of Georgia.
Justice is served. Court finally overturns Marissa Alexander's 20-year sentence.
Really?
This is 2 days ago.
Is she out?
How exciting. Erased a decision by a jury that took just 12 minutes to convict. Mother of 3. Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, yeah, and she's a mother of 3. Let's just lock up this
Let's
mother
just lock her
of 3.
up. Who cares?
Yeah. There's also I'm just Google Newsing Luke O'Donovan to see if there's anything. Oh, he's so cute too. I'm going to see if there's any news on this guy as well, because that's just a serious miscarriage of justice. I just don't see how in this country we can let something like this slide. That's just so stupid.
Oh, it looks like it says we remand for a new trial.
State of Georgia, you are making me hiss. I just had to get that line out.
Yeah, fine. Yes, we hate you, the state of Georgia.
I was in Georgia recently. Oh, not too recently, but with Caldwell, Bob the drag queen, a little while ago. I keep wanting to say it with my roommate, and I have to say my ex-roommate now.
That's right. I know. I'm sad. I wish he was here. I'd like to have him weigh in on this Thug Kitchen controversy.
Yeah. We should interview. And now our token black friend.
Hey, we've got more than one. We've got more than one.
Yeah, he has very interesting take on race and what is okay and what isn't okay, and it's usually not what I'm expecting him to say either.
Interesting.
But he and I, when we were in Atlanta, one day we're coming down the street and like we're at a red light, and to our left, we're on the right side, and the car to our left is a cop car, and Caldwell's like, "Oh, girl, look at the cop next to us." We were looking at him, and we were both like, "Oh, he's cute." And we were both kind of checking out the cop. And here's the thing: one day I realized in New York City, like, it's against the law if I go up and touch a cop. It's against the law if I put my hand on any part of his body or his tool belt or his gun or whatever. I think it would be even illegal, like, if you went up to a cop to get their attention and you tap him on the shoulder. You said that a cop
has a tool belt.
Well, his little hammer belt thing. Like, even if you tapped a cop on the shoulder, like, "Pardon me, officer, can I ask you, which way Times Square is?"
It's true.
I don't think, even then, if they wanted to, they could be like, you just assaulted an officer. But I one day realized, like, oh, but it's not against the law for me to stand and ogle an officer and, like, look at their groin region while I lick my lips. Like, that's not really illegal. And so, like, here we are kind of like ogling this officer, and the next thing you know, he and I were pulling off into this like little strip mall because they have like a peach stand in there, and I've never had a peach. I don't like peaches. Caldwell said,
I remember you wanting to get a peach in Georgia.
Get a roadside peach, because then at least you'll know that they are from Georgia, because most of them are from California if you buy them in the store, which that's ironic. And like, as we are pulling into, like, there was no siren on the car. He didn't put a siren on or anything. Just as we're pulling into the strip mall, he just follows us in.
The cop.
Yes, and after we get out of the car, he gets out of his car. Or no, he doesn't get out of his car. He blocks us as we're walking over the thing. He's like, "Guys, can I see some ID?" And it's like, what for? What? And we're like, sure. And then I forget if it was me or Caldwell who asked, like, can I ask what you're stopping us for?
Yeah.
He said, "You're acting suspicious." And I was like, "Oh." And I was like, well, no argument there. I mean, I'm sure that did seem kind of suspicious that we were like both staring at this cop at the red light, and then we took off. Well, we didn't take off, we then proceeded at the green light. And I like, little New Yorker me, I so wanted to be like, "Oh, it's a funny thing, officer. We just both thought you were hot, so we were kind of checking you out." And like, I didn't say that, but at the moment, it just felt like, yeah, that would be okay to say. That'd clear things up. But then, like, we both talked about it afterwards, and Caldwell was like, "Yeah, it's probably a better idea that neither of us said that, because, like, we're in the South right now."
Yeah.
Like, we're in Atlanta, Georgia, where O Donovan was now, sentenced to jail for attempted murder just for trying not to get killed.
Yeah.
And, for all I know, this cop could have basically said, "Oh, yeah, two homos tried to sexually assault me or tried to touch me," or, I mean, he could say anything he wants to,
Yeah.
It was kind of scary.
And
then we did get then I bought a bag of peaches, and it was a lot more money than I thought it would be. And it wasn't until after I've already given them the money.
How much money was it?
I think it was like $10 or something for
How
a bag
many
of peaches.
peaches?
I don't remember, because I didn't need them. Because then I asked them afterwards, "Oh, where are these from, by the way?" And he said, "California."
Ugh.
So I didn't even try them.
You bought a bag of California peaches in Georgia.
At a roadside stand.
Ugh.
After basically being stopped by an officer. Maybe the officer was just trying to stop us.
I don't understand why you would buy a bag when you don't like peaches and you just wanted to try one. Why didn't we just buy one?
I don't think that was an option. So I don't know. I don't know. I was shaken up by my run-in with the police.
It's a sad story, your lack of peach. You didn't even eat it?
No, I don't think I ate it. I don't like peaches.
Peaches are good. You're crazy.
Ugh, they're not good. They taste very, I don't know, vaginal, I imagine. Allegedly.
I tell you what, if I taste like a peach down there, I think that's great news.
Okay, I suppose that's better than the alternative.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it doesn't taste like a peach, but...
So, How quickly can we get off of this and on to the next? Laura, what are you purring about?
let's be real. Doesn't smell like a peach.
We don't have to be real. We can just switch to Purrs.
All right. Well, all right. So mine's, of course, for more of like a favorite things than a Purrs.
Okay.
But so basically since I went vegan, I've sort of struggled with this. Most razor companies are like all terrible, basically, right? Like they're Gillette and...
Whoa! I gotta screen capture that. Sorry. There's a new thing on the new iOS 8 for iPhone where if you just say, hey, Siri, if your phone's connected to power and you say, hey, Siri out loud,
Yeah.
she will automatically, her ears perk up and whatever. I don't know what you said that made it sound like you were talking to Siri, but here's what Siri thinks she heard.
What? I can't read it. Hey, Siri.
Is it backwards?
Wait, let me just...
It says, hey,
No, give it to me. Give it to me. Let me see. Hey, Siri. Imagine.
No. Hey, Siri, vaginal, my imagine, I imagine, allegedly, I don't know. And she responds, that's not nice.
Oh, God, that's funny.
Wasn't talking to you, Siri.
Yeah, girl.
Go make me a sandwich.
All right. Back to the show.
Back to the show. Oh, let's not pretend. This is our show.
Distracting McGee.
That's our show. That is our show. All right. So, Dollar Shave Club.
I hate this chair.
First rule of Dollar Shave Club, don't talk
Don't
about
talk about Dollar Shave Club. So I've been having trouble with razors, really. It's like I can't even think of another brand right now. It's like Gillette and something else.
The Gillette, that's all I know. That's what I use.
Yeah, anyway, they're all huge companies. And so, our razor sort of supply at your general drugstore is really taken over by companies that are not cruelty-free. So, pretty much none of the main brand, actually, I can say it confidently, none of the name brand razors out there are cruelty-free. Mm-hmm. So, I had... at the Rainbow Co-op in San Francisco, which is like, big hippie store. They don't sell any meat. They have a lot of great cruelty-free stuff there. In their beauty section, I found a Preserve razor. And Preserve is that company that makes the toothbrushes out of yogurt cups. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Preserve. Yeah, and I use their toothbrushes, and you can just mail your old toothbrush back when you're done. It gets recycled, and they make another toothbrush out of it, which is great. And they used to do the same thing with the razors. So I bought the razor, and it's awful. It's like one teeny tiny little blade, maybe two. I think it's one. And then like a little teeny tiny moisture strip. It was like, it sucked. It was a horrible razor. So I was like, okay, I'm never buying this again. And then I got another razor that also is a cruelty-free brand. And I cannot for the life of me remember the name right now. And it was okay. It was fine. It was function. It was two blades. It wasn't a great razor, but it was okay. So the thing is, though, to get those refills, I had to go to that special store to get them. Mm-hmm. And order them online, which was
that's what I hate is when you find something that you're like, oh, finally I found it. You're like, oh, right, now how did I get here again?
Yeah.
Now, when are they open?
And so for
when
me,
am I in that part of
I don't
town?
I'm really not a very hairy person. I don't shave as much as a lot of people, but it was just very irritating. I just felt like I never had a razor. So somebody, I think I can credit the vegan most for this, but somebody on Power to the Veg was like, hey, I'm looking for a cruelty-free razor. And they were like, Dollar Shave Club. And I was like, are you serious? That thing seems so hokey to me. But they're cruelty-free. So I went over to their website and I checked it out. And, at a glance, it seems pretty great. So you sign up and they send you 4 razors a month. And you have a couple different ones you can choose from, different price points. There's one that's $1. There's one that's $6. And I think one that's $9 a month, which is all totally reasonable, I think, for razors. Razors are expensive. So I was, and so I'm looking at them. I'm looking at their frequently asked questions, and right under the razors it says, are your products tested on animals? It says never. Dollar Shave Club is 100% cruelty free, and Dollar Shave Club does not test its products on animals. We love all animals, especially bears.
Only thing is, for me, $9 for 4 blades, that's great. I don't need 4 blades every month.
You can sign up for every other month.
I don't even think every other month. You know how often I buy new blades?
Oh, well, I don't know.
First of all, I shave like pretty much 3 times a month. I shave as many times as I have gigs. So I have 3 monthly gigs, and so I pretty much shave only about that. Maybe 4 or 5 times
Well, look,
a month.
that's what I'm going to say, that it's worth trying, because I signed up for the $6 a month one, and it's that's including shipping.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. You just get charged $6 and your razors get shipped to your house. So like I don't know. And I have the 4X, it's called the Lover's Blade. And I super duper think it's a great razor. Like, it's really nice. It's the best razor I've had in ages. It's really high quality. It looks good. It's great. I love the way it maneuvers. I love everything about it. And I feel like, for me, I'm probably going to be an every other month girl because, like Ben said, I don't use 4 razors in a month. I don't use 4 cartridges in a month either. But I also sort of feel like, because this is so affordable, even with every other month, it's like I can just change the blade whenever because I usually push the blade to their death, but I won't need to, because if it starts to go dull, I just put a fresh one on, Anyway, I'm very taken with them. They have other products that, if you look at their frequently asked questions, it appears that, the post shave, hold on, I'm trying to get to this. They've got a shave butter, a post shave, and maybe something else. They've got some wipes. Anyway, they have all the ingredients are listed on everything, and there are several that they have marked vegan. So it's like they're terrific. They are really very vegan friendly. And I actually don't know if some of these products maybe aren't vegan. They sure look vegan, even the ones that maybe weren't labeled vegan, but you can send them a message and I'm sure they'll reply if you're interested in more of the products. But as far as the razor thing goes, it was really driving me crazy. And I am so happy to have found this really convenient, like, rockin' alternative. So I am purring about the Dollar Shave Club.
I am purring about Mike from Dollar Shave Club, their spokesman. It's not just that he's cute. If you watch the commercial, he's just got this type of confidence that is just, and such a swagger. He is, he is dreamy. He is dreamy. They do have the not very hairy plan, so you can get your razors less frequently. So maybe I'll look into that.
Yeah, they have the not so hairy plan.
I would like to purr.
Okay.
Which I guess we're taking us out on a purr. We started with the hisses. We made it through the wilderness.
I'm excited for your purr.
We made it through the wilderness. Somehow we made it through. Didn't know how lost we were till I found you. Wearing a glove only on one hand. There we go.
Go on, Ben. Keep
talking. Are you done? Okay.
I am done.
She's kind of lost, you guys, to the music.
With the song.
She's kind of, her eyes are closed this entire time. Her eyes are closed. She's really bopping her head. I feel like it's no Shaka Khan. Yeah, it's no Shaka Khan, but I do feel I've lost her to this song.
Go on. Talk about the cheese. I'm excited.
Last night, after I got off work, Michael Suchman and Ethan Cement, the vegan Moes, they had a couple of friends over for a vegan cheese and chocolate party. So I got over there. I was like an hour late. I told them I would be there at 4:45. I got there a little after 5, just a hair after 5. Because on the way there, I walk right by XS Lounge. I'm like, I may as well stop in at XS Lounge and just quickly say hey. Because I'm in the neighborhood now, and I may as well stop in and be more like, oh, hey, people I know but see every now and then. I'll say hi. So I thought I'd stop in to get a Red Bull and say hey to the bartender. And then Brian Kalinowski was there. Frosty Flakes was there. I know the bartender, Anthony. And then my friend, Vlad, is the bar back there. It was like a whole bunch of people I knew. So I went in and hung out and kikied for a little bit. But then I got to the vegan Moes, and there was also Carmela and Carlo were there, the vegan food duo.
Your way of saying you were late to the vegan Moes?
Yeah, well, I was there. I told them I'd be there at 4. I could get off work usually at 4:30. I told them I'd probably be there at 4:45. I got there at 5, and they had just started at that point. So I was like, oh, good timing. But so it was the vegan Moes, it was the food duo, Carmela and Carlo. it was Michael Herron, and it was Danielle Legg. And I've never met Danielle Legg, but I've heard so much about her, so I was really excited to meet her. And basically, the reason for this cheese tasting was because Miyoko Shinner of the Artisan Vegan Cheese Cookbook, Miyoko Shinner now has miyokoskitchen.com, where you can order her cheeses and have them shipped to you.
Yeah, girl.
Which I was in disbelief because these are so gourmet and so artisanal that it doesn't look like something you would think ships very well. You would think like, oh my God, you better like eat those the same day. But I know that her cheeses also last quite a while and hold up really well with time. But so we had 9 different cheeses laid out and we got to sample them. And of course, Michael and Ethan are just so gay and so into it. It was almost like going to a gay Oscars party where they have ballots made up and you have to like pick who's going to win everything.
Okay, I love those parties.
You know all about that. But we had to like rate each cheese on its appearance, its texture, its flavor.
Oh,
and then
that's
any
really
other notes.
funny.
Yeah, and we had a couple of favorites. I think like the 3 favorites out of all of these cheeses were one of the first. There's the double cream cheeses, and the double cream chive was definitely one of the first favorites. And then later, for me, the kind of cheese that I most miss is like a really sharp cheddar from Wisconsin. That's the kind of cheese that I sort of compare everything else to. This is the first vegan cheese I've had that really had that like hard, crumbly, firm sharpness. And it even, I don't know how she did this. I don't know how she got this, but I remember like my brother and I would like drive back from our lake house up north and we'd stop at this place, Neskie's, which now I just think of Neskie's as like a sadness cruelty shack. But Neskie's was like this old, aged cheeses. And like my brother and I would each try to find the oldest cheddar cheese they had. Excuse me. And I remember once they had like this, like I just burped while talking. So
you sure did.
There you have it. Now it's preserved for the ages. And I'm a little embarrassed by that now.
Oh, he's blushing,
I'm gonna leave
guys.
it. I'm gonna leave it and go on.
He's blushing.
She's a lady. So I would like for Cher to join in as a duet with that song, just so she could do the whoa, 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 she's a lady. Anyway, so we would have like I remember we had like this 7-year sharp aged cheddar that was like so dry it was basically cracking apart. It just crumbled when you like touched it. And in a really sharp aged cheese, you'll almost have these little crunchy little crystals that form in the cheese. And her number 7 of her 9 cheeses, the aged English sharp farmhouse cheese, had those crunchy little crystals in it. And I don't know how that was accomplished, but it was so delightful. And then there's an almost identical cheese, which is the aged English smoked farmhouse. Same thing.
So smoked version.
But it's smoked. And that was like the star
really
of the party. So the aged English sharp farmhouse and the aged English smoked farmhouse, and then the classic double cream chive. Those were sort of the most popular, but like, and my other favorite was a High Sierra Rustic Alpine. It was also really, they were all so good. Except, of course, she had this one, the French style winter truffle. Do you like truffle mushrooms?
I love truffle, yes.
Does the idea of an entire mouth full of truffle flavor sound good to you?
Pretty much.
This cheese was solid truffle. And it just, every one of us made a face when we ate it. It was so truffly that
well, not
it just
everybody
tasted,
likes truffles.
It just tasted like dirt. In a way that like a truffle mushroom is kind of supposed to, but it was such an overwhelming truffle flavor. But even I thought this cheese has a place in the world. Like It has a purpose. There is a person out there who has the right use for this cheese.
Well, you never know. I mean, a really strong truffle is often best in small amounts. So maybe that cheese would be better, like, on top of a pasta or something like that,
That's even what she said. She even has a recommendation of like a truffled mac and cheese that she makes using that. But I don't know. It was not for me. But, oh my God, these are so delicious. You can actually now, first off, you can just get her book, The Artisanal Vegan Cheese Book, and you can make these cheeses yourself.
Yeah, but people have been struggling with trying to recreate them, I guess.
Well, I mean, it does take a certain level of experience and artistry, but...
Oh, I'm pretty sure it takes a lot of practice. That's the thing. If you try to make one wheel and you're unhappy with it, it's like, don't give up. Keep trying.
Yeah. But yeah, if you like, if you want, just go ahead and order that. If you have a fancy party or if you have some like omnivore family members coming over for a housewarming, go on miyokokitchen.com and buy some cheese. Just so at least you know what to compare her recipes to.
Yeah, and here in the Bay Area, you can get it in stores.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not fair.
It is not fair.
Let me just say, I am 1,000% homosexual. I do not have a heterosexual...
But you are in love with Miyoko, I know.
Oh my God, I think she is the sexiest thing. I just think she's just...
very nice.
Oh.
She's an incredibly nice person.
Oh, she's very nice, but forget nice. Wouldn't you agree that she's just a sexy mama? I just think she is just a hot lady.
She's not really my taste.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
But I think she's incredibly nice. And I went to a cheese party where she made all the cheese. And
no, she was there?
Yeah, she signed my book.
I would fangirl out so
I also saw her
hard.
at the VVC, the Vita Vegan Con, the last year. That was great. Yeah, she's a delight, really. And her cheeses they are the best I've ever had. And
so good.
It's so weird for me to say because, you guys, I don't really like cheese very much.
Mm-hmm.
I never did. I've been allergic to it my whole life. I always avoided eating it. If I do like a cheese, I tend to like a melty cheese or something creamy. But her stuff is like, it's the real deal, man.
Yeah. There's a very few things out there that people that I'm comfortable calling game changers.
Oh,
Her cheeses are a game changer.
Yeah, well, they're another level. No one can say that it's not. I mean, they're incredible.
In the same, first off, screw Daya. Forget Daya. These are beyond Daya. But in the same way that vegan pilot Marty, his new, what's the name of his new
Big Mac
burgers? Yeah.
I don't know. He's Marty's fast food.
Marty, yeah. It's,
I think he just called it the Big Mac.
What does he call it? He calls it the Big M Burgers.
Okay.
A vegan fast food NY is his Facebook page. So Marty's Vegan Fast Foods. Boom. And his oh my God, the world famous artisan made burger is what they're calling it. So good. Oh my God. That's something else.
It tastes like a Big Mac, yeah.
When we were at the Seed, everyone was walking around saying, "Oh, it's a game changer. Oh, it's a game changer." Like I this year I've only heard two things referred to as game changers: Miyoko's cheeses, and Marty's artisan made burger.
I already knew that about
Miyoko's. It's the best burger
cheese,
out there. It's the best burger out there.
It might be. Yeah, I knew that about Miyoko's cheese already, though. But it's like I felt like you just had to be one of those lucky people that got to be in an event where she had made the cheese. But now everybody can just buy it. It is expensive. I'm sorry, everyone. It's expensive.
Chips. I don't know. I mean, you're talking to a guy from Wisconsin spending that kind of money on cheese. I mean, it's like $44 for a box of select cheeses. I don't think that's so expensive.
It seems like so much money to me.
I'll put it this way. Being a guest in Michael and Ethan's home yesterday and seeing the spread they had put out before us, it looks like something like, oh my God, they really went all out. They really treated us. Oh my God, thank you for going to such extravagant lengths.
Yeah.
To know that I could treat someone to that for $44, or they probably spent more because they had all 9 of her cheeses, so maybe they got 2 boxes or something. But I mean, like, for a little bit of extravagance, $44 is, you could do a lot worse.
Well, it's true. And I mean, you can think like if you're going to have, say, you're going to host Thanksgiving or something like that, and you want to have a really impressive spread out as an appetizer plate, you don't even need to buy all 9 cheeses. You could get 2 wheels or 3. and just have them out and really.
Well, you can definitely skip number 6, the French truffled one. Laura, even you would be like, okay, I can't eat that. I trust. Do you trust me?
I mean, not really.
Trust me. Do you trust Michael Herron?
Yeah, I trust Heron.
Trust Michael. Yeah, it was just.
I gotta tell you, the thing is, I'm such a truffle junkie. I feel like I might be the person that cheese is for.
All right, well then maybe that cheese was meant for you.
But I don't know.
Oof, girl, it was. Oof.
Yeah, truffles are really strong.
Yeah.
But it does sound like to me if it was really pungent and really umami and really strong, then, maybe it's just not meant to be eaten straight, like.
Yeah. You know what? I would say I have always felt to date like, ooh, it's the Daya wedge. It's the game changer. Like if I was going to go to a party, I would put out some cheese and crackers. I would set out like a wedge of Daya cheddar.
Oh yeah, no way.
That to me has always been like, oh my God, I'm going to fool the omnivores. Well, that's one thing because I haven't eaten dairy cheese in 5 years. So like for me, I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly what it tastes like. But for the real cheese snob out there, you don't give them Daya. But if you gave some cheese snob any of the cheeses that she had, first off, they would have no idea that they were not animal-based because they're just so truly creamy.
I don't think anyone can tell that that's not.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody would be like, this cheese is vegan. They would be like, what is happening in my mouth right now?
Yeah, that's the cheese that you show up to a cheese snob with.
Yeah.
And you tell them, oh, yeah, but what say about this?
Yeah.
So, Miyoko Shinner and Miyoko's Kitchen, you are making me purr.
Seriously, purr.
You're also making me put on some weight. So I'll just say that, hey, I'm going to throw in a bonus purr, if I may. May I?
Apparently.
I wasn't asking you. I was asking the listeners. I'm just kidding.
I know you weren't.
I was recently invited to a tasting menu for the Lusty Vegan. I met Ayendi Howell and Zoe
I
Eisenberg.
met him in LA.
Yeah, he's from LA. She lives in Oahu now, which is part of Hawaii. And,
is it?
Yeah. It's not part of Kentucky. I know people always think, oh yeah, I live in Oahu, Kentucky. No, it's not in Kentucky. So they are the Lusty Vegan, and they have a cookbook out. And so I was invited to this little this studio they had in somewhere in Brooklyn. Suite 306, I think it's called. So I think there's a lot of events there. And here we are, this long table. I happened to walk in at the same time as Victoria Moran. And the only 2 seats were across from each other. So it was just hi Victoria, let's go out to dinner together. It was me and Victoria just sitting across from each other. And everyone, this is gonna sound awful, everyone turned Asian for a moment because every food item they put in front of us, we're all taking pictures of it with our phone and we're all Instagramming it and we're all food blogging our food.
Yeah, I don't really understand why you said that was an Asian thing. That is an everybody thing.
It's a vegan thing, but it's if you ever waited.
No, it's an everybody thing. It's not a vegan thing. It's just everybody does that all the time.
Well, not everyone, because I've never been a big food blogger. You know me. I'll be I will food blog posts of empty plates and oops, this was.
No, I know, but it's I'm just saying it's a chronic problem in our society.
Can I just be needlessly racist, please?
No, you can't.
Thank you. So anyway, so they served us. Oh my God, I gotta try to remember what they served us because I have them all Instagrammed. So let me go over the menu of what was served. And I also bought their cookbook as well, which had what I loved about their cookbook is their cookbook's not just hey, here's a bunch of food. Their cookbook, they talk about each of them being in vegan/omni relationships where you're either dating someone who's an omnivore or you're sharing a space with someone who's an omnivore. And it's not they were telling stories about, well, here's how I won. Here's how I got my Omni girlfriend to go vegan. Or here's how I won the argument and maintained a completely 100% vegan household. They talk about being a vegan and having to share your fridge with someone who keeps meat. Okay, so they can only keep meat on their shelf. And they talked about how they had to strike these real world compromises in their relationships so they could actually, live and cohabitate with someone that they were in love with who wasn't vegan. And I'll remind people what Ingrid Newkirk of PETA says, is that vegans have no business dating fellow vegans because then who gets converted in the process? But so the first thing that they served
Newkirk
us...
should go to Al-Anon.
Okay. But the first thing that they served was the mac and yees, which I will just say that's not the most appetizing name for it because yeesh. But I am kind of a mac and cheese snob. I like to say that I have the best vegan mac and cheese recipe out there. I actually have to find it because I made it once and it was so creamy. It was almost too creamy, but it was so good. Theirs was just, it tasted so like real food based. Like it didn't have any daya or whatever. It was just such a delicious, light, fluffy.
Yeah, Allende is famous for that mac and cheese.
Oh my God, it was so umami, so creamy.
It's very delicious. I had it at the prom. It was excellent.
The next thing they served was a pickled fennel salad. All of these are in the cookbook, by the way, and they're delicious. Then they gave us the Hearts of Baltimore crab cake. And he had a really interesting story about each of these dishes, but he was talking about how he went to visit family and, well, he's vegan. And they're like, oh, well, we're going to go take the kids out for crab cakes. No, they're vegan. Oh, no, it's crab. So it's okay. It's not meat. It's crab. And it's like, yeah, it's an animal. They're not going to have it. But he remembered thinking, he's like, crab cakes, huh? I bet I could kind of recreate that. And using hearts of palm, he recreates that texture of lump crab meat. And this is like a crab cake.
I love hearts of palm. That sounds fantastic.
It was delicious. And then Victoria was like, oh my God. She's like, I'm full. She had like half of one left and she's like, I'm stuffed. And she's like, do you want it? And I'm like, yes. So here I am eating off Victoria Moran's plate. And then the next thing, I'm just going to show you a picture of it. If
I
you can
saw
see
them
that.
all. I'm active on Instagram.
Oh my God. When people put that, it was called the filet de soy with the red wine and citrus butter sauce. It looks like a steak. And I had to call them over and ask, is this just a soy-based steak or is it a piece of tofu? And they said, it is a piece of tofu.
Oh, wow.
And I was shocked because I can imagine how you could use texturized soy protein or use whatever to come up with something like a mock meat, but that was just a really well done piece of tofu.
Wow.
For people who think tofu is some like bland, rubbery, white substance, this is how tofu was meant to be. It was so delicious. And
yeah,
then for
I'm totally interested in that book. You're really piquing my interest.
I would say get it.
Well, because Andy's a great chef, so
incredible. Not a bad looking man.
Oh my God, no, he is so cute.
The other reason you want to get this book is it's basically filled with pictures of Andy Howell
looking handsome. He's very handsome.
I don't know if all the pictures they had on display at the event are in the book. I know that some of them didn't make the cut. But there was one picture of him more than shirtless, is all I'm going to say. And you can see, it took me like all evening of looking at this picture before I figured out what it is. Basically, he's completely naked. He's standing behind a lady, and she's sort of like bent over, like, and like resting her head on her arms, like she's like got her eyes closed and enjoying the moment. And he's like got like a plate of food on her lower back, and he's got like a fork and knife. And he's like eating. It's a very sexy book. This book is not like
that's the whole idea. The whole idea is that it's sexy. Yeah.
It's the lusty vegan.
They have a stuffed French toast recipe in there.
It's the vegan cookbook you don't want to let the kids get a hold of. But and lastly, for dessert, they had the a strawberry shortcake biscuit, which was so light.
Oh, that's like my favorite. I love strawberry
so
shortcake. That's
like on a real biscuit,
desserts.
not on sponge cake.
Yo, I like it on a biscuit. Yeah, that's how it ought to be. I say.
So good. So delicious. So
Awesome.
Also, just a plug for the book. Check out the Lusty Vegan
Definitely.
cookbook.
Check it out. Maybe we can get Ian
Really
Day on
good.
the show. He's fun.
Oh my God. Well, I already invited them to be on the cooking show.
You
if
should.
I can ever,
That would be fun.
but like, they live in, it's like 3 people from around the world to try to coordinate. But if we can make it happen. So, what would you like to talk about for food?
Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about, or have you done it all?
I'm done. I just gotta go into food.
That's what I'm saying. Do you have more for food?
You know what? I'm gonna make that my food
Because
That
you
will be
just
my
see, I
food.
mean, we just did like a ton. I
had
was wondering
more
if
I
you
was
had
gonna
something
talk
else
about.
planned.
That I will. You know what? I'm gonna call that my big fat vegan food segment. So boom.
All
That's
right,
my
cool. Well, I don't have anything particular I was going to talk about. I mean, what I have here is the LA Vegan Beer and Food Fest. That's what's on the script, but that is old at this point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could talk about it.
We'll talk about it if you were
I
there.
didn't love it.
I'm more surprised that you were in LA. That's like very far away.
No, it's not that far. It's yeah. Well, I was the LA Vegan Beer and Food Fest has quite the rep, man. It's like very it, and so I was interested in going, and all the non-drinking tickets sold in like 2 seconds, and so I was like, well, I guess I'm not going. I'm not paying for that thing, and and originally when I had been considering going, my boss has got friends in LA, and she was like, oh, we could all go to LA, we take the kids, and then you can just go to the festival one day. And I was like, we'd just have a little vacation. I was like, oh, that would be really fun. Let's do that. And so anyway, long and the short of it is somebody got me a free ticket because I am VIP. And so then I had a free ticket, and my boss was like, fine, let's take a trip to LA. So we went to LA, and I went to the festival, and I just knew a gazillion people there. It was really fun. And to stay positively, I had a great time. I ate a bunch of delicious food from a bunch of places. I had fried avocado tacos from Seabirds. They were terrific. I had, the Beyond Meat truck was giving out Frito pies. They were amazing, unphotographable, but delicious. And I had this, there was a truck, I think, called the Grilled Cheese Truck, and they did an all vegan menu special just for the festival. And I had I'm sure everyone saw that picture. It was like the big picture from the festival. It's like mac and cheese inside of a grilled cheese sandwich.
Oh my God.
And then also like these shredded seitan barbecue in the center. I mean, it was the best thing I ate the whole day. It was unbelievable. And then I had ice cream, and there was Big Macs. I mean, whatever. Well, I mean, the list goes on and on. There was a million delicious things. However, I paid for all of them. Nothing was free except the Beyond Meat truck was free. Everything else you paid for. And there was no place to get water. I hated that. I brought a water bottle. There were no water filling stations. You had to buy bottles of water. That was so annoying. And it was so hot. You were like baking in the sun. It like started at noon. You're baking in the sun the whole time. It was crazy hot. I got sunburned, even though I was slathering on sunscreen. I gotta tell you, if I had paid to get in there, I would have been really pissed off. Like, I got in for free. I don't know what you're reading or whatever. I got in for free.
No, I'm wondering, is this a hiss or a purr?
Well, we're not hissing and purring anymore.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. You're not paying attention. I can tell.
I'm paying attention. I'm listening to you.
Liar.
I'm thinking it sounds like the Woodstock 25, the 25th year reunion of Woodstock, where like they had everyone captive. There's nowhere to get water.
No, it's not like that. It was just like it was like
$7.
I mean, I got a free ticket, right? And I got a free non-drinking ticket, which I don't even know how much that was. I think it was maybe $35 or something like that. If I had paid that to go into a place where I had to pay for everything to bake in the sun all day, that would be really annoying. I mean,
I guess
I had a good time because it was free.
Keep in mind, most people are going there to get wasted, so like, most people aren't really going to.
Well, the drinking ticket is way more expensive. The drinking ticket is like $55, and you get a little sample beer glass, and you get little free samples of beer all over.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the real like perk is if you get a drinking ticket. But beyond that, if you want a whole beer or you want to eat, you have to pay for it. And I just think that it's like, if you're going to pay that much to get into a place, there needs to be more that you're getting for that entrance fee.
Could you imagine as an alcoholic having this tiny little like sample size cup and waiting online for a sip of beer at a time? That just sounds like...
Yeah, it would be rough.
That sounds like every layer of hell.
I mean, I saw everybody pacing themselves, and I was like, so, everybody here is normal. Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, I had such a fun time seeing people, but it's too hot. I wish it was at night, and I wish that it wasn't so expensive to go someplace where nothing is free. I don't know. I don't know that I would pay to go. If I got
you made it through.
If I
you
got,
made it through
I mean,
somehow.
I just, it was also just overblown because everyone's like, oh, it's so great. But it was like, if I would go again, if I had a free ticket, I don't know that I would pay to go again.
Well, you don't have to, and I certainly won't make you.
It is fun though. People come from all over. I saw so many people.
Yeah. So I was looking for a link because there's one little thing I want to mention in our closing, but
Okay.
so I'll post that link. Did I find the link? Where is
I don't
it?
think you did.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't mean to speak bad about it. Does it sound like I hated it? I didn't hate it. I had a good time.
Okay. Well, so you had a good time.
It was just so hot, and I spent so much money.
Yeah, I don't know that anyone has a good time when they're
Hot.
exposed to the elements like
The
that.
heat had so much to do with it. I'm telling you, if that thing started at 6 p.m., it would be baller.
Yeah.
But that baking in the sun all day, and there is zero shade. Like, you cannot enter shade.
So it wasn't really shady, huh?
No shade.
What was there tea at least? Was there at least
Yes,
tea?
I actually had a lot of iced tea. And a lot of nice iced tea.
Hey, so before we close this episode out, I realized after we recorded it that we did not acknowledge Halloween at all. And it's October. So we're going to cue some scary music for you here.
You can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska.
Well, explain to me why that enhances your foreign policy credentials.
Well, it certainly does. As Putin rears his head and comes into the airspace of the United States of America, where do they go? It's Alaska. Ultimately,
Well,
what the bailout
it's not
does
music
is
exactly, but
help
it's
those
pretty scary.
who are
So
concerned about the
we're going to
healthcare
keep that
reform
going in the
that is
background.
needed to
And
help
in the
serve our
meantime,
economy,
just to quickly
helping
talk
them.
about Halloween
It's gotta be
candy.
all about
So
job
y'all might be
creation to
wondering
ensure that our
what we
economy
think
is
about
back on the
Halloween
right
candy
track. So
and
healthcare
vegan
reform and
options.
reducing taxes
And if this is your
reining in
first
spending has got
vegan
to
Halloween, where do you go to
tax
get candy?
reductions,
So
tax relief
we're going to refer you
for
back to an old
Americans.
episode.
And trade
Literally,
is
if you just
we've got to
Google
see
Big Fat Vegan
trade as
Radio
opportunity,
Halloween
not
candy,
as
it should take
a
you right to our last
competitive,
episode
scary
where we have
thing,
a
but one of our jobs
comprehensive
to be
list.
included, in the
But
trade
also,
sector.
we'll include a
We've got to
link
look
to
at
that
that as
episode
more
in the show
opportunity.
notes.
All those things
So if you don't
under
want
the
to listen to the
umbrella
whole
of
episode, you
job
can just
creation.
go to that
This
page on our
bailout is
site
a part of
and
that.
just read
It's
a
also
list of
known as
all
the
the Halloween
Maverick
candy
Road.
that is
I have
vegan.
that within
In
me
short,
also.
that
It's
list
John
is
McCain's
Skittles,
pathway to
Twizzlers,
being
Swedish
of
Fish,
Maverick from
Sour Patch Kids,
independence as a
Annie's
team member in
Gummy
this,
Bunnies,
on this
Lucy's
campaign
gluten-free
promising
cookies,
reform.
Oreos, Chica Sticks, Nutter Butters, Smarties, and of course you can always just opt for small toys and stickers if you're looking for things to give out for trick-or-treat. Back to the episode.
We believe. Wait, I thought fast food joints. Don't you guys think that they're like of the devil or something? That's what liberals. You want to send those evil employees who would dare work at a fast food joint that you just don't believe in. Thought you wanted to, I don't know, send them to purgatory or something. So they all go vegan and wages and picket lines. I don't know. They're not often discussed in purgatory, are they? I don't know. Why are you even worried about fast food wages? Because.
So, I think, is that about it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't even planning to talk about that. We don't have any questions or anything, but I feel like we've had plenty long of an episode. We don't need to do any more.
I don't think we need to. Plus, I need to hop in the shower in
No,
10
I know you
minutes
got to
and
get
start
going
getting
too.
ready.
So I did have one announcement that I would really like to make,
Yeah.
although I have it.
You're moving back to New York.
I am actually not moving back to New York.
Okay.
Did
I tell you I'm moving to San Francisco?
Oh, that's great news. Right after you get that
I'm
perfect
not.
apartment.
Yep.
No, this is very exciting. Drum roll, please. We are expecting
Huh?
our intern Madison
Oh, that's
is
right.
Having a baby, my baby and me. He'll read it in Winchell that we're adding a limb to our family tree.
A little vegan baby.
Our little vegan baby maker.
We're having a baby.
She needs to write a cookbook now, like how to make a vegan baby.
How to make a vegan baby.
Take 1 part love and 1 part vegan, and
And I'm so
Yay.
excited.
I'm so happy we can announce that.
I know, I asked her
And
first.
I didn't know that she was expecting until after the seed vegan experience, and she shows up because like I'm like becoming honey, which is the most stressful thing in the world, and she like shows up to my apartment to like lug some boxes down to the seed, and it wasn't until after the seed is done and you're like, oh Ben, did Madison tell you? I'll tell you what, she was expecting, and she was showing, and I was just like horrified. I'm like, is this the girl who
And I just had lug boxes down to
had
find
her
us
lug
here.
boxes for me? So if that baby has a little t-shirt box shaped dent in its head, I will feel very, very responsible.
Oh, I think it's gonna be fine.
I think so too. Oh yay! Congratulations, Madison.
It's sure gonna get a lot of vegan T-shirts
Oh my god!
from
that
Laura.
baby will want for nothing from herbivore clothing.
Amen.
Oh my god!
Anyway, I'm very excited. So I think that we should all send Madison some love. On that note,
I know that. P.S. Speaking of interns, I know that I am clearly we need our intern because I don't even remember who wrote us about what or whatever. But we had an intern who wanted to volunteer to be Madison's intern, which I think now is a better time than ever.
Yeah, that's the thing. We probably need because she's about to get real busy, so we could we could definitely handle. We could stand some extra help.
So, and I know that whoever it is, I already wrote to her, and then I'm sure if I just take 2 seconds to look through my mail, I'll find it.
Oh, it's cool
But
that you're wasting time on the show talking about it then. That seems to be...
if you're the girl who wanted to be our additional intern, write me again and just keep your first test as our new intern is get my attention and get something in front of
sorry, Ben lost your email.
Get some. No, I didn't lose it. It's still wherever it is. It's just I lost my mind. I've been through a very stressful 6 months of moving, but
oh my god, what a baby. 6
I know.
months.
It's so funny how quickly you get used to things you've never had. I live on the 10th floor with a gorgeous view in an elevator building, and I thought, oh, everyone must live on the 10th floor because whenever I go to get the elevator, it's already here waiting on the 10th floor. And they said, oh no, that's because the 10th floor is the home of the elevator. So when one elevator is waiting at the lobby level, the other one goes to the 10th floor and waits there.
Oh my gosh, how lucky.
So whether I'm coming home or leaving, when I press the button, the elevator's already there. So like the other day, I pressed the button for the elevator and I go, press button.
Oh, you had to wait. Oh, Princess had to wait for the elevator.
And I'm just waiting and looking around, and like 3 whole seconds goes by before the doors open. I'm like, oh god, it's just, come on guys, gotta get it together. I just joined the gym in my building, and last night I'm like literally laying in bed like I think I'm about to fall asleep, and then I'm like, nope, there's a gym in this building. I should just go do 20 minutes in the treadmill before I go to bed. I know I'll be so glad if I do.
Oh yeah, that's hard to talk
the
yourself
gym-
out of it when it's in the building.
The gym isn't 24 hours, and I can't remember, like, when they gave me the hours, they weren't even certain when it closed. They were like, I don't know, midnight, 11:30, midnight. So I called the front desk, and I'm like, when does the gym close? And he's like, oh, it's open. And I'm like, it doesn't close at 11? He's like, no. I'm like, so it closes at midnight then? He's like, oh, just come on by. And I'm like, all right, Super Mario, whatever, I'll come by. And I get there, and there's the cleaning guy with his mop and bucket and vacuum cleaner, like just about to clean the gym. And I'm already in through the door of the gym, and he's coming up behind me like, it's closed. And I'm like, oh, damn, I knew it was closed. I called ahead of time and asked. He's like, well, how long are you going to be? I'm like, just 20 minutes. He's like, yeah, it's all right. So I think that he like waited around for me to do.
Oh, wow.
I feel so bad, but I'm like, if it's not okay, tell me it's not okay, and I'll go back home. He's like, just do it. But
What a sweetie pea.
Yeah. I get text messages from my building when there's like a package waiting for me. And then like there's like an app for my building. So my building has an app. Well, it's called Building.
Are you
Links.
just getting into a zone where you're bragging?
Yeah, kind of.
Yes.
But, my zip code is 10036. So, and I missed a piece of mail the other day. It was a certified mail, which probably not good news from the IRS. But it's like, you can come pick it up at your local post office, which is 42nd Street Times Square station. And I'm like, oh my God. That's my neighborhood post office, is the Times Square station.
That's pretty fun.
Which actually doesn't sound like too much fun for me.
No, that sounds
whatever.
awful. I don't envy you at all.
Yeah, so, oh well. But, I make it work somehow.
Well,
Anyway.
I've got 4 razors in my bathroom.
Oh my God, that's enough to last me 1 year. I think I changed my razor like
I can't
quarterly.
believe you don't change your razor that much. Well, maybe it'd be good for you.
I just don't use it that much.
You seem to shave your face pretty regularly.
Like once a week. Once a week.
Oh,
I
so
shave
you're
my
like me.
face.
You're just not hairy, because I'm the same. Like, if I shave my legs, I'm good for like a solid.
Well, it's not that I'm
10
not hairy. It's just
days.
that, like, I've just gotten used to, like, when I'm in between drag gigs, I will have several days of facial growth, and that's just fine.
Yeah, I really
And
only.
not
I
like-
don't need to. I mean, I know women who have to shave their legs every day. I just don't have to.
I can't imagine.
Oh, me neither.
Oof. All right, so we don't have any listener mail, but you can always check us out at bigfatveganradio.com. You can call us at 315-VEGAN01. That's 315-834-2601. You can email us at bigfatveganradio@gmail.com. Tweet us at bigfatvegans. And you can find us on YouTube, just youtube.com/bigfatveganradio. And of course, Big Fat Vegan Radio on Facebook. Boom. That's everything.
Oh, P.S. We have t-shirts now. Did we mention this yet? We have Big Fat Vegan Radio t-shirts. They're green, they're gorgeous. They have a big cartoon Honey LeBronx and Laura Yaz on it. So go to bigfatveganradio.com and click on store or merch or shop or I don't know. Click around and buy a damn t-shirt already. You know you want one, so buy one before everyone else does, and then you're the only person walking around not wearing a Big Fat Vegan Radio t-shirt, because we only have a certain number of them, so buy them before they're gone.
Please become a listener. You can go to
Yes.
tinyurl.com/BFVR support, or you can visit bigfatveganradio.com and click on support us for a list of ways you can help us do what we do, even some that cost nothing.
That is correct. And don't forget to follow Laura and myself as individuals. We are both on Twitter and Instagram. I am at Honey LeBronx. She is at Laura Yaz.
You can check out 3 Minutes About a Movie, although I don't really do those videos anymore.
Well, get back on it.
I'll
'cause
try.
The world loved you for
Well,
them.
thank you. I really enjoy doing them. There's just not enough time. And
Didn't you say that you wanted to start filming them like right as you're coming out of the movie? At least do
I
that.
did
and that'll-
think I did
yeah.
that one time. But then you have to edit them, though, Ben. I can't just upload them straight.
You're telling someone about editing?
Yeah, I
And
know.
Why do you think it's 2 years since I've edited an episode of my cooking show?
God, I know. Can you do that, please?
Well, not 2 years. It's been like a year and a half, but still.
All right, well, I want the Trailer Park Bark.
Oh my God, it's so good.
So
All right, I'm
upload
on
it.
I'm
Anyway,
on it.
okay.
I'm on it.
Look, check out 3 Minutes About a Movie, and I will see if I can get more up. I haven't done one since I had short hair.
And check out Honey the Bronx's Vegan Drag Queen Cooking Show at vegandragqueen.com. I know more episodes are coming soon. I remember like a year ago, like I'm like, dudes, new episodes are right around the corner, and then just
They're
not
all
so
just
much.
sitting in the can.
They're sitting in the can. There we go. You can also buy my medieval oil at medievaloil.com. And I could give you a use for it, I guess, but I feel like I've been through all the uses for it. But I now have fancy little cards that list about 80 different ways to use it. So if you buy it now, you get a cute little card that tells you how to use it. And I want to give a quick shout out before we do our normal shout outs. So I don't know if I've mentioned it yet, but I now a waiter at Blossom Restaurant on 9th Avenue between 21st and 22nd. And oh my God, I have not been able to say I love my job.
Oh, wait, you work at the Nice Blossom?
Didn't I tell you?
I knew you were
I
up
work
for a
at-
job, but for some reason I thought it was the Uptown one or something, not the...
Oh, I was, and they were like, we're 90% certain we want to hire you. Girl, the way I got this job.
You're
I
at
like
the
went-
official Blossom?
I am at the Blossom.
Okay, because that restaurant is amazing.
Everything. You thought Laura Airing was everything? No, this Blossom
Laura
is
Everything.
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 Laura Everything. At the end of the day, Blossom, I think even Laura Airing would agree, Blossom is everything.
It is
But,
an amazing restaurant.
First off, the food aside, we've all waited tables. I think it's fair to say that you will never feel respected as a waiter anywhere you go. I feel so respected and supported by management, by the kitchen staff. It's really a wonderful, wonderful
Well,
place
there's
to
a
work.
reason that place is so successful.
Yeah. And
I mean, all the blossoms are great too. I don't mean to devalue the other blossoms. That one is just really.
I basically get to try everything on the menu. Like I'm almost finished working my way through the entire menu, and everything there is delicious.
Yeah,
everything.
it's an amazing meal to eat there.
So I work at Blossom as waiter, but I haven't announced this in the podcast. I am also a baker for the Cinnamon Snail now.
Yeah.
So like 2 or 3 days a week, I am, and I know everyone thinks, no, we don't do the baking on the food truck. I can't imagine. It's a huge industrial space.
Yeah,
down
to
in
make all
Brooklyn.
those donuts, are you kidding me? That would be crazy.
Oh my God. I've guesstimated.
So
I
wait,
probably
can
make-
you FedEx me donuts then?
Yeah, I probably could.
Yeah, okay.
I think I'll do. I don't know how well they'll hold up if I FedEx them because, like, I don't know. I mean, these are made to be enjoyed fresh, and sometimes I'll bring in. Well, certain ones hold up better than others. And sometimes I'll bring one in to work at Blossom 2 days later, and it's like, where's all the glaze? Because it's like it's just melted off by that
No,
point.
I know they're good fresh, but
These
but when you
aren't
never
like-
have cinnamon snail donuts ever,
Yeah,
even a
yeah.
stale one would be a delight.
I could make something work. But I wanted to give a shout out to Cinnamon Snail because we won the Vendy Award.
No big deal.
The award for vegan food truck. No.
Yeah. Oh wait, let's
It's
back
the
up.
award-
Excuse me.
it's the
Do you all know
award
what the Vendy
for-
Award is?
The
Because
Vendy Award-
it's just like the best food truck ever award.
Right. It's basically an award each year for the best of food trucks in New York City. It's
Not
a
vegan food trucks,
It's not a
not
vegan
vegetarian
thing,
food trucks.
Just food trucks, period.
Just all the food trucks.
And the Cinnamon Snail is officially the best food truck
Period.
in all of New York City.
Exclamation point.
And also, it's not their first time winning a Vendy. Like, I don't know if it was like they
No,
won
they
the
won a
actual
Vendy for
award, but
the bourbon donut. Which one is that?
That was it.
The Maker's Mark donut, which is like the creme brulee. Is that that?
Yeah, I don't think it's the creme brulee because I've made the creme brulees and I don't think they have Maker's Mark in them, but they do have a Maker's Mark something or other.
All
I
right,
don't
well,
think
there's
it's the
something
nice-
that has a cream and a bourbon, and that won a Vendy award, like best dessert.
Actually, it was our creme brulee that won this year, so I think that's what you're thinking. But yeah, and I went the other day to pick up my pay at the truck, and then like while I'm there, they're like, "Oh, do you want a meatball sub?" And I'm like, "Sure, I want a meatball sub." But here's the thing: it was on 47th and Park. Actually, it was between Park and I think whatever's next to Park. And like there was just a line. All of 47th Street was lined with food trucks, and there is a line down the block. Wait. What am I thinking? There is someone. Wait, was it a Facebook post? I have to find and I have to read this Facebook post about the. Yes, I know exactly where to find it. I have to read it because it's the funniest thing in the world. But the vegan, the Cinnamon Snail was the only truck out of like maybe 8 or 9 trucks. It was the only truck that had a line. And it had a line down the block. Our line spanned several food trucks. Like other food trucks are just looking at a long line of customers, not for them. But here we go. Let me see if I can find this real quick. It was a post that I made. I'm just going to search my Facebook for Cinnamon Snail. Okay, where is it? I will find this. It will be pretty quick. It will not take forever. I will manage to hold everyone's interest while I'm doing this.
You already lost me.
Really? Well, I'm going to get you back in a second because here we go. I know it was on Monday that I did it. So here we go. Cinnamon Snail. I posted, hey, I'm at the Cinnamon Snail, and guess which one has a food truck down the line? So my friend Jessica Pellegrino, which I love Pellegrino so much, that anyone whose last name is Pellegrino, she posted, she said, hey, my friend works on the truck and told me that one day another truck owner told them it wasn't fair that the Cinnamon Snail was giving away free food while other trucks were trying to make money. He was in complete disbelief that they were actually charging. And yet they were the only one with a line.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
And just imagine his face when he was told they had no meat or cheese. He asked if they ran out.
Oh my gosh. Gosh,
So he comes over to give him a piece of their mind. Like, it's not fair for you to give food away. Oh, you're not giving food away? Oh, you're charging money? And you still have a line? Wait, there's no meat or... Why don't you have meat or cheese? Did you run out? Oh, you're vegan. And you're charging full price. And you have a line down the block.
Oh, wow. That is funny. Okay, I'm glad you found that story.
Suck it, Omnis. Suck it.
Eh.
So there's that. And quick shouts out, of course, to the Michael Herron. You can check his work out at michaelherron.com.
He just released his new album.
And he just released his new book. The album has a companion book that goes along with it. And it's a beautiful read. Check it out while listening to the album. I just went to his little like book and album release concert. I'm so proud of him. He is just taking on the world. And also a big shout out to Kelly Huffine for our cartoon and logo. You can check her out at kelly42fox.deviantart.com. Take your time to check her out one day because I actually checked out her work and oh my God.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love her art.
Brilliant stuff. So there's a video link for Madison's
Well, it's just a
announcement.
song I thought you might want to play when we announced it.
Oh, done. I will put that in my edit in Madison song. There we go. And lastly, I would like to say that one of my managers at Blossom, her name is Ivory, and I adore her. And the first time I met her, she's like, "Oh, I actually listen to your podcast." And I'm like, "You listen to my..." And then immediately I got really nervous and like, my manager has spent how many hours listening to my thoughts and opinions and rantings and God, the things that I've talked, I burped on today's episode.
I know, we've talked
and my
about some
manager's
racist
getting
things
to hear that.
here and there.
And then, but like, she told me she was a fan of mine, and a whole month went by before I started to figure out, I'm like, wait, Ivory King. And she mentioned, she's like, "Oh yeah, I do some vegan songs too." She's like, my ex and I, we used to do some vegan songs together. And that's when I realized, wait a minute, Ivory King, Jonathan Mann, vegan myth song, the Williamsburg couple We Gotta Break Up song, if you remember that, I'm sure. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. The person who is my manager at work, I'm actually a fan of her stuff as well. It was such a weird meta moment. I don't know what meta means, but I think I'm...
Me neither, but I try to use the word occasionally.
Yeah, I want to sound like I'm cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, I am so excited to finally feature the vegan with... I've heard the vegan myth song a million times. I just had no idea that like the person I adore working with is the person actually singing that song. So, and it's funny because when I arrive in a place, I'm like, "Well, hi, coworkers. I'll have you know, I am, yes, it's me. I'm in the Bronx, blah, blah, blah." And here Ivy was just like, "Oh, I wrote a song too once." And it was just like, didn't even like make a big deal about who she was. And so like, Ivory, I am a fan of yours. And with that said, I should run because I'm off to see her for work in a few minutes. So we are going to take you out with the vegan myth song by Ivory King and Jonathan Mann. So enjoy that song after our episode.
That's all we've got today for Big Fat Vegan Radio. Please subscribe to us through iTunes or your podcatcher of choice. It's extra helpful if you can give us an awesome rating and a glowing review. And be sure to let us know what you thought of this episode.
That's my...
Oh, sorry. I'm just trying to get it done because I know you have to go. Go.
I know. It is funny, though, how you will criticize me for how I talk when I'm suddenly reading something from a script. But, girl... That was like the fine print at the end of a commercial where the voiceover is like, "Side effects might include bleeding."
Okay,
in your
Ben, the
lungs
difference
and
between you
coughing."
and me is I understand the rush to be on time. You, on the other hand.
Do I have any bagel left?
I apologize that I am trying to get you to work on time.
And first off, I don't have to worry about being to work on time because I have a city bike a block away. So it takes me like 10 minutes to ride to work. And be sure to let us know what you thought of this episode on our Facebook page, send us a tweet. You know what this reminds me of? When I was in in second grade, my mom told me, I'm like, what's the difference between a comma and a period? She's like, oh, when you get to a comma, you want to stop and take one breath. When you get to a period, you want to stop and take 2 breaths. You can imagine the very next time in second grade when we had to read as a classroom and it was my turn to read. So I'm like, you can send us a tweet, leave us a voicemail. And I had a feeling that this is taking too long. People are looking at me. Or leave us a comment at bigfatveganradio.com, period. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks, Laura.
Thank you, Ben.
Have a great day. Oh, 1 second. Let me scroll up.
This fake out is so over.
Well, no, I was going to say, first off, my mom never told me what to do when you get to an exclamation point.
Oh, that's true.
Am I supposed to fart? Am I supposed to cough? Am I supposed to go vegan?
Go vegan. And wages and picket lines, I don't know, they're not often discussed in purgatory, are they?
Hey, Ivory,
Yeah, Jonathan.
you're vegan, right?
Yes, that's right, I am.
Can I ask you some questions then?
Sure, man. Of course you can.
Are you ready for the questions then?
What are you waiting for?
Where do you get your protein? Protein, protein. Only meat has protein, so where do you get your protein?
Actually, lots of things have protein. Beans have protein. Greens have protein. Fruits and nuts have protein. Grains and seeds have protein. And here's the thing that's so obscene. Don't need so much protein. Most people eat more than they need.
Well, I never knew that before.
It's true.
Where do you get your calcium? Only milk has calcium. Healthy bones from cow's milk. Calcium, I drink it, yum.
Lots of plants have calcium and lots of calcium. And cholesterol, well, they have none of the fat found in milk.
Calcium, no fat? Greens give me calcium?
Lots of calcium.
What about our ancestors? Didn't they eat meat? If I wasn't supposed to eat it, then why do I have these teeth?
Do your teeth look like a carnivore's, all sharp and pointy like? No, you gotta cook your meat over a roaring firelight. Furthermore, all carnivores act on instinct, but humans make choices they consider and they think. If humans of old ate meat, it was a choice, not a necessity.
Well, I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, we have these choices.
If everyone were vegan, what about all the cows and all the gajillion chickens that are living on farms now?
If everyone were vegan, it wouldn't happen overnight. Demand would just decline, and so would the supply.
Isn't vegan food just bland and gross?
No, it's yummier than most.
You care about animals more, you do.
I care about animals, people too.
Aren't vegan men weak and girly?
I find vegan men quite sexy.
B12, so they're ha-ha.
B12's for bacteria.
Where do you get your protein?
Plants.
Where do you get calcium?
Plants.
Where do you get your iron?
Plants.
Where do you get your zinc?
Plants.
Where do you get your protein?
Plants.
Where do you get calcium?
Plants.
Where do you get your iron?
Plants.
Where do you get your zinc?
Plants.
Hey, Ivory,
Yeah, Jonathan.
I think I get it now.
You do?
Yeah, it's all about plants.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
Okay, cool. Glad we cleared it up.
Me too. Let's have a snack.
Okay.
Split and then.
Sorry.
Okay. I like how you're keeping that like basically right by the mic.
I moved it away.
hearing-
I moved it away.
Okay.
I'm not going to eat during the show. I'm sorry. I just got hungry.
It's
I
fine.
got hungry.
I mean, I haven't eaten. Oh, I have a bagel. I forgot I have bagels. Hang on.
You're going to eat right now?
Yes. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to toast my bagel while we're recording. 1 second.
Gotta be kidding me. He just made me split the
I keep
recording.
forgetting I have bagels.
Oh my god, he's a psycho.
Oven on.
He is worse than me. I know he doesn't think he is, but he is worse than me. I just do this stuff because I know he's doing it. If it wasn't that way, I would behave better. That's the truth. All right, I'm gonna eat these chips. I'm eating dang coconut chips, y'all. Oh my god, can you guys hear him? I can hear him.
Okay.
He's coming over with bagel.
So I'm trying to figure out where I can get food from now on. And
Just get used to your new hood.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right by Blossom du Jour, which I get a discount from. That, it's because it's on your desk. I'm going to hear that if you reach into it.
I'm not going to read into it. I just went to get it because we left to go get a fucking bagel.
I know. I'm just reminding
I'm not
you
an
that,
idiot. I'm not going to eat
no,
during
I'm just
the
reminding
show.
you that it says like anything on your desk or anything touching your desk.
I
will end up sounding
know.
like that. Okay.